on the radar, everybody, and we got Phony People today. What is up? Yo, let me tell y'all something. I missed y'all being around, all right? Because, like, I'm 22, and towards the beginning of my college career, I actually had, like, a bunch of friends who had put me onto your music, and I was really feeling it, and I think it's so dope how all of y'all all also do your own thing on the side and stuff like that. So is it, like, hard to, like, kind of come together and do music sometimes when all y'all have your own like separate side projects and stuff like that? Or
yeah, it's not hard to balance the two sides. I feel like when we're all creating all the time, from acoustic setups to in studios with gear everywhere to just all I have is my laptop. Like all I have is a voice memo. We always creating, and when you make something, you could kind of feel where it should go.
Right.
And if you can't tell yet, it's always open. A lot of things start off as just something little that you made, and it just expose it to the guys, and it just ends up being a Phony song. Or some things I'm sure like there's times you made a beat and you're like, oh nah, I'm about to kill this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or, so you just feel it out, but it's not difficult at all. We share it.
Yeah, you could curse as much as you want on this thing. Yeah. This is going on you. This is going on YouTube. You can curse as much as you want. Word. So I know you guys just announced that you're going on tour with Pusha T.
Hey.
Congratulations, by the way. Because I know he had kind of canceled some of the tour dates at the beginning of the tour, and now that he's redoing it, he's bringing you guys along for. How did that happen? Like, how'd y'all guys like get that together? Did he call you? Was it like a label thing? How'd that all come together?
The agent, Kara.
Yeah, booking agent.
Kara Lewis. She spiced it up. She took our accolades that we've been doing, and presented us properly, like the amazing woman she is.
Right.
We in there.
That's dope.
Swimwear.
Have you spoken to Push? Have any of y'all spoken to Push yet? Or has he reached out to y'all? Or
we met him briefly in Virginia not so long ago. We were playing with like Erica.
Yeah.
It was like Erica Badu or something like that. So,
it's all good.
We played like a show in Virginia, and he came out and had some nice words for us and stuff. It was very brief, but
that's amazing.
Cool. Yeah.
Do you think that ever there could be like a possibility of like y'all working with him in the future?
I mean, if we're gonna be on tour and we're around the studio, we constantly make music.
Of course.
So like,
yeah.
There's definitely a possibility of it for sure.
Freestyle.
It's just a matter of if there's time, I guess.
Right. That's dope. So the new album Mosaic, October 18th, right? 19th. My bad.
If you think of the letters. Thank you. If you think of the letters IG, if you ever get confused, 19 looks like IG. So just think of October Rig, like October Rig.
See, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, October Rig.
Okay.
If you ever forget.
October Rig. October 19th.
October Rig.
Yeah, so I love what y'all been doing for the concept behind it on IG and stuff like that with the mosaic tiles and the covers for the singles. How'd y'all come? That was all you?
It wasn't.
Oh, you raised your hand. So how'd y'all come up with the concept for mosaic and like creating that type of that look and the visuals for the upcoming album?
In terms of visual this is Barry. This is
let the viewers know like when y'all on. Yeah. That way they can get to know you better and all that.
Yeah. So I pretty much do some of the artwork. I do art on the side as well as do music. And the concept for the album cover for Mosaic, it started off, we had a couple other ideas. We were going to go with like a whole face and different patterns. But then I found a friend of mine's art piece that he did in a traditional Turkish mosaic style. And I said, that's the inspiration.
Right.
That's what we should definitely do and actually create a very intricate mosaic ourselves. So I started drafting up concepts of what the cover would look like. And then he took it, Taha Alkan, great artist. Shout out to him. And he took it and he really turned it into the final product that you've seen, and it was an awesome process.
Yeah, I think it all came together really dope, and that's one of the things like I think is really cool about that artists do is when they actually like they have like a theme to it and they like stick to it, and that's something that I definitely like. 'Cause I was checking out some of the single covers that y'all have released, and there's like one of them's I think is the Brooklyn Bridge, am I correct?
Yeah. Yep.
And then the other one is I think the Statue of Liberty too in there. Yeah. I thought that was super.
Those are all pieces from the album.
From the yeah. So I thought that was super dope how y'all put that together. So with the new album coming out, what type of sounds are we getting compared to like the last project y'all put out? I know there aren't any collabs. It's just y'all, right? It's just y'all on the album.
Yeah.
Oh well, we got 2 saxophone players. We got Masego,
Okay.
man's Masego, shout out Masego, and Braxton Cook, very 2 talented saxophone players.
That's dope. That's
really,
dope.
really good guys too.
So how would y'all say your sound kind of like evolved from your first project to now? You know, because since you guys have been all around doing stuff with different people, how did you like take those experiences and like come back and like to put this project together?
I think over the years we just had so many songs. We had so many different avenues of inspiration. We definitely like collabed with a bunch of people over the time, and I don't know when those songs are gonna happen, but like we spent a lot of time making a lot of music and then getting to a point where we had to filter through,
Right.
you know what I mean, what was gonna make it on this one and what was gonna be saved for the next one, because we already started working on the one.
Oh, that's
after.
dope.
You know what I mean? So like having to filter down from like 30 plus songs to put it to like 11. I think the progression that we've had, like sonically, has been a lot more focused on making whatever song it is the best that we can. So
Right.
we focus, as anyone that knows us, we don't care about genres, we don't care about the categorization of it, we don't care about like, does it work in the context of this or that. We just like we start making the song and then we keep going until all of us agree on it, and that takes a long time sometimes.
Does it?
Yeah.
Because I know like with bands it's kind of hard sometimes because there's so many hands that are touching the product.
Yeah.
So how do you guys like decide like what song? Because
delegation. I think.
Delegation.
Yeah, like we go in there.
Yeah, we.
He's like wait a second.
Yeah.
He's like I got something to say.
There's a trust factor amongst
Right.
all of us that with our obligated positions, with the instruments we play, and just with the minds of us as 5 producers, knowing what this idea needs to be, what needs to be added for it to be closer to its potential, or
Right.
what needs to be taken away for it to be, closer to its potential. And when things come, and someone else adds their creative input to something else, it's just a matter of like literally digesting it.
Right.
And that's the part that I feel takes time, or to find what the perfect thing is to digest,
Right.
Because you could say, okay, boom, this is an idea I tried on something that, maybe someone else started, and I took it somewhere, but it could be taken to another place, you know what I mean, that would be more powerful.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? As an overall song.
So do you guys think that's why it takes like a while to like release a new album? Besides, you guys are like set.
And to finish the songs.
Well,
Yeah.
mainly this time it was a lot of infrastructure stuff we had to work out. We had to work out like who we were. We had to work out who the team was. We got signed last year. It was a whole bunch of like.
Congratulations
thank
on
you.
that 2 years. Come on, thank you. Come on, big things
Shout out
happening for you
300.
guys.
Shout out 300. Like
Yeah.
there was just a lot of figuring out that had to happen. We had to figure out a lot of stuff just like on paper and off paper, and that's really what took as long as it did. And then we were also like Kalichi's band for a little while, so
Right,
like
right.
it was just a lot of being out of town.
And I think that's amazing
just,
that
like-
like you guys are also coming up with everybody else that's coming up right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Like that, like touring with her must have been amazing.
It
You
was
know?
a great, yeah. It
great.
definitely
Yeah.
like new chapter after that,
Right.
But a lot of that was just we had to figure out the same kind of stuff, like delegation, figuring out strengths, and figuring out that okay, like Barry, let's let Barry do the cover.
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean? Like, and nobody else really had to step in with that. That like, and the same with
That's like coming back to the trust of like
Exactly.
you're trusting him with
the
with
final
putting that
filter
together.
of the album, the final mixes. We personally just left it in the hands of LB and Matt because it's just so much easier if it can go through like a clean,
Right.
you know what I mean, funnel direction instead of everyone trying to constantly.
Right.
One thing I gotta add to, which all that is so true, facts, is that in this pool of 30 plus songs that we had to cut down on and
Yeah.
focus on for this album, a lot of these songs weren't already done. So it's not just like these songs were already done. You just had to pick them and be like, okay,
Right.
we're gonna either re-record this or use the recording that we have and just put it on the album. These songs had to be thoroughly crafted, you know what I mean, which takes a very long time to.
Which I think a lot of people misjudge. People
Yeah,
are so
and
used
that's
to
the
the
part-
turnaround of
yeah.
music these days, especially in hip hop.
Right.
But they don't really realize that when it comes to like bands, such as you guys, it takes like a little
Right.
more longer to like make sure that everything is like perfect.
Yeah,
Even past bands, just any artist that any artist that focuses not on quality over quantity, but they just have a high standard for their quality, it's probably going to take them a while because there's a lot of patience that has to come with art and like having the confidence to know like, okay, this is done. Because when it's just up to you, it can kind of never be done. There's some songs that we had or songs that LB started years ago that are now getting finalized. And that comes with just time. Like
Still some that aren't. It's still some that aren't even.
there's
getting
still
finalized yet.
there are some that were supposed to be on this album, and they still might be on the next one. But they've been done in the sense of the foundation has been there for years.
There's like this one song we have.
Talking to the mic,
Yeah, this is one song we have that's tried to make its way on every single album.
Every single one, dude.
Like since we were like 16 years old. And
Really?
we even try to fit it in. This is just not the time
It's
yet.
still not there yet.
It's
not
been hours
there
of
yet.
discussion.
So do like your vocals sound like?
Yes.
Do your vocals
Yes.
sound
Oh,
different
yeah.
on it?
Yes.
Really?
And also, like, even with Yesterday's Tomorrow, like, each song we have is, like, specially crafted by all of us. They've been through different states and stages and...
Right, because
It
you
takes-
guys travel so much, you hear different sounds and you want to like experiment with it.
different
we play them live,
studios
too,
and-
sometimes.
Yeah,
Oh, word.
yeah. The Blue Note helped with that too. Just
Yeah.
like seeing what the crowd would respond, how they would respond to
Right.
certain songs. So we're just like, oh snap, and do a certain lick, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna add that in the recording, and like,
Right.
all that stuff takes time, and like,
Because sometimes when you play a song live with like more people or like with a band, it sometimes sounds like different or better than how you imagined or how you already recorded
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
So you want to
Oh,
go
yeah.
back and change it to
we
get
had
to that point.
we had pluses
Yep,
and minuses with that because this time around we would have like a song like Boyfriend started. Matthew made that beat like
Right.
years ago. So by the time it got to the record and there's like acoustic guitars and different arrangements on it, that's because we played it live so
Right.
much that we
Yeah.
like have these different things that we integrated in it. But otherwise, it can come from so many other places. The whole concept behind the mosaic thing was every song was kind of treated like its own exhibit in a big theoretical museum. Every room is like a different song playing.
So we're gonna get like some cool like visual thing for it, because like you know how like musicians will do like art installations. I think that would be something dope for y'all to do.
we
Talk about that.
yeah.
Yeah, we spoke about that. You know, of having a physical, interactive place to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is Mosaic.
Yeah.
In the real physical form. Like,
Right.
yo, enter these doors and step into Mosaic. We spoke about that. Could happen, could not happen, but we gonna make it
You're not
happen
gonna
in the right
divulge
time.
anything
We on
here?
God's time. When God says we can do it, we can do it.
How about visuals for the album? Y'all planning anything for that, like in terms of music videos and?
Yeah, we came out with the music video for the single Before You Get a Boyfriend a couple weeks ago. But we also have a couple other music videos lined up and being worked on. This time, I think we're really concentrating on people getting to see our faces.
yeah.
Sort of get to see what
To
we
to
look
get
like.
to get like familiarized with you guys, because you
Yeah.
guys are gonna be around for a while.
Yes, that is.
You guys are gonna be
facts.
around for.
We just got a final draft of a video we just shot like yesterday
For one of the new. So which video for which song?
for Way Too Far.
Oh, okay, dope.
It's really cool. We went to LA to shoot it. Really dope director Joe, and had some cool cameos and some friends come out. It was different.
Can you tell me who they are? Or you don't want to
You-
divulge it?
Eh,
We'll have to wait and see.
it's not like anything crazy. It's just like friends of ours that live in LA.
Right.
And we have some other ideas. We have some treatments that we've submitted. We've had some ideas because we've all wanted to start getting more involved in it. So like I've submitted a video treatment to direct. Barry's working on one.
That's dope.
So we're just trying to be more involved all around because one of the advantages is there are 5 of us, so we should be able to cover more ground than just one artist.
Right, like you guys can all like work on your own thing, bring it back, and then be like, here, this is what we can do, and then
It's the same with working with other people.
Right.
It never really, thankfully, it's never really affected us in a negative way where we've had to make some real decisions like, okay, you can't do that anymore.
Right.
What have you. Like, I'm going to play with Nokia on Saturday.
Right.
I'll be back in time for dinner.
Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that. That's very.
I'll be
that's
back
very-
in time for
that's
dinner
very
the
dope.
next day.
How is it playing with in Princess Nokia's band?
I love Princess Nokia. She's a
vibe, right? She's dope.
Great energy, great person, very sweet, very nice.
That's
Working
amazing.
with her has been really easy. She let me get a whole song by myself on her album. So
Amazing. So something I wanted to ask you guys, being voices, of the culture and stuff like that. I know you guys were, well, yeah, you guys are voice of the, like, you know, like being like
us know, bro.
being like coming up in the youth, and you know, I really wanted to like ask you guys, because I know you all had a chance to like meet and work with Mac Miller, and I just wanted to ask you guys, like, you know, how was that working with him, you know?
Oh, yeah.
If you don't mind me asking.
No, it's fine. I worked with Mac Miller. Oh man, for like.
You wrote 2009 with him, right?
Can you? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, you good.
There we go.
Yeah. We did. I worked on him with Divine Feminine pretty much the entire album.
Which is my
Yeah.
favorite Mac Miller
And
album.
that's how we
Amazing.
met. It was just him and I in the studio, and we did the first song, Congratulations, together. And ever since then, we've been really good friends.
Okay.
And then I just remember one day he invited me to the studio, and Kendrick was gonna be there, and I was like, yo. He was like, yo, I need a drummer. And I called Matt up, and I was like, yo, Matt, come through. And yeah, man, it's just been, I don't know. He's a great guy.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And 2009 is one of my favorite songs off that
thank you.
project, man.
Yeah,
It was it really like that project really like hit home.
Yeah.
It was a really great project.
Yeah, thanks, man.
But
Yeah.
so speaking about like, you know, the youth and stuff like that, how do you guys like look at yourself like in like this place? Because you guys have like, you know, a clear influence on like the culture and moving forward. So like what mark do you guys want to leave on like the culture?
There's a lot. That's a heavy.
You went too far, man. Bring it back.
I think we're gonna pass this one around, but for the culture, just do your history. You know, make sure that you know where you're coming from in terms of your art. You know what worked back in the day, what worked, you know, what could work. Like just do your research and educate yourself on the music that you make, the messages that you're sending. Yeah. All right, next slide.
Anybody else?
I feel like one thing with us is the importance of patience, like taking your time to do what you're trying to do the right way, and it'll last a lot longer. Like we've always tried to focus on the longevity of our band, and like biggest influences, like, you know, Earth, Wind & Fire could still play a show today, and
Of
like,
course, and
everyone's
they can still
gonna go.
sell it. I saw them a
Exactly.
few years back upstate. They were crazy.
So that's what we focus on. We focus a lot more on like as many people that we can reach, like keeping them around. You know what I mean? And that's not gonna come if you like lose your focus on what you're trying to do.
Right.
And you're impatient.
Anybody else?
Yeah, to add on to that one specifically, to be conscious and to leave a legacy that's gonna transcend your physical form. So after you're here, after you're gone, you know, when you're not standing in a room and it's just the factor that you're in the room and you made this, oh, now I'm into it because you're in front of me. Besides that, when you left, when you're off the earth, you know, like decades later, you know, when music is in different forms, when MP3s is like old shit, you know what I mean? Like people, I wanna implant the Phony People seed within, you know?
Yeah.
So people can really. Yeah, I don't know if y'all heard that, but yeah, what he said.
It definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
If this didn't pick it up, the camera definitely picked it up.
Word.
So it'll be in there.
Cool. Yeah, long after we gone,
Mhm.
you know, the same way we feel when we like digging through our parents' crates and we just find some old fire that's just like, yo, this shit came out in 19 whatever,
Right.
50 something, and
Yeah,
like this
yeah.
is the crazy shit they was on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like,
my dad got
wow.
those crates too, and you pull out the old record that doesn't have like a name on it, and you put it on. You're like, wow, there's some really
Like
crazy
when
shit.
2000
It's
and
even better when you can still see them. When you sorry, like when you know you find Fleetwood Mac for the first time, and then you find out they're going on tour again. It's like even.
I just saw them last week.
Oh, they-
Y'all know who Stevie Nicks is, of course, right? They brought her out. Crazy. Crazy.
Leslie was there too.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's fire.
Crazy.
Yeah, just to sum it up, when 2018 was a very very long time ago, Mosaic should still be some fire.
As it will
That-
be.
yeah.
As it will
Thank
be.
you.
Can I? Oh. So I would also like to express the no genre factor, just for everybody.
Oh, I'm a big fan of that,
And just
yeah.
like the future of music, you know, like you shouldn't go into something being like, oh, I want to make an R&B song. Like, no, like going and being like, yo, I want to make some music, you know, like
Right.
I want to just throw some drums, not being like, nah, I need some like hard trap drums. Like, nah, I want to just.
I think that's
just like-
becoming ever more like all these genres are starting to merge, like especially hip hop
yeah.
and rocker
Mhm.
and like early 2000s punk rock are becoming like one and the same, you know?
Yep.
Which is great. it's great because it's creating new lanes for hip hop and it's creating new lanes for music in general.
Yeah, if everybody is just like sees the whatever, if it's a computer, if it's a paper, as just like a blank thing, and not be like, yo, I'm trying to make this one thing instead of like, hey, it could turn into anything.
Yeah,
that's like, I think that's like what we all like about.
And I think I think it reflects on your music because you guys are very experimental in like your sounds and it works out. I'm sorry, you've been waiting that long to speak. He's like, oh, I'm gonna speak after him.
Remember, patience.
Patience is key.
Well, yeah, I think just to go along with
that was a dope sound, right?
Yeah. To go along with what everyone's saying, also to combat the fear of putting something out there, because when you put something out, it's out in the world for everyone to witness, and I think all of us together, we sort of use changing no genre, finding your favorite artists and complimenting them by using them as inspiration, trying to leave a mark that transcends your physical.
Right.
All of that, for the people who have fear of putting something out there, you can combat it by just putting it out there.
Right.
And maybe only a certain amount of people would latch onto it today.
Yeah.
Or maybe afterwards, millions of people would catch on to it. But putting yourself out there is also a very strong mark to leave.
A huge lesson we learned with that through our 10 years of being a band is that we're okay with the fact that everything ain't for everybody. Because with that judgment that you open the portal to when you put something in the public domain, someone could say, yo, I just released some sneakers yesterday. Yo, those sneakers are fire and they comfortable. Yo, them shits is ugly and they make my feet hurt. It's like, you can't, that's one person's truth and that's another person's truth. It's subjective. So you have to be okay, and we're okay with saying like, all right, this is not for everybody.
Right.
But who it is for, you know what I'm saying? It fits and it's comfortable. What I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it.
I think that was beautiful.
It works on both sides because we try to focus, especially now, we try to focus on as much as, it's like a big misconception with us, right? It's like everyone that meets us, if they don't know us, they think like, all we do is like sit and listen to jazz and like hold hands and like walk on beaches and stuff. And it's like, no, like we definitely turn up and like have fun and live in the city and like listen to music that's on the radio, you know what I mean? But people just assume that we're like very anti-radio, we're very anti anything that's popular. It's like, no, we just don't make it our life to like try to please everyone all the time at the same time.
Right.
But we definitely like also try to balance by focusing on songs that are easy to digest and the songs that are harder to digest. You know what I mean?
Right.
We try to keep that balance. That's why the no genre, like, it's really important because,
Right, and you guys have that on your Twitter handle, right?
Yeah.
The no genre. Yeah.
You should see people like stress themselves trying to figure. They're like, Phony People's like, they're like a soul, like, they're like, Then they start comparing.
Because I think on iTunes and like other like platforms, you're like it's like, oh, you guys are like R&B / soul, but I think you guys are more than that.
It's a lot more.
You guys are like,
people try to say we're like the Roots, so we're like. Kind of, like, you know what I mean?
But you guys want to be your own thing, you know what I'm saying? That's like the argument where people always like, I want to be the next, Michael Jordan. I want to be the next this. But
it's
like,
just like
be the next you, yeah.
Exactly. It's just what people just like the easy way to say something. You know what I mean? Like,
they'll get it. Yeah. It's just gonna take the like the years of the consistency. Like the people like the Roots and NERD and Earth and Fire, they've had that long time of consistent greatness that that's just the next thing you compare it to. Like, if I'm trying to say, yo, this is fast food spot, maybe like, yo, it's like a McDonald's, but so-and-so. And it could not be, but it's fast food. So I'm going to just say
elevator pitch.
Yeah. But, it makes sense. But over time, people will be saying someone else is like Phony People. Like, yo, they like Phony People. You know what I'm saying?
Phony People type beat on YouTube.
We have one. We have a Phony People type beat. We got one. Finally.
Shout out to who made that.
I think that was a beautiful way to end it. Thank you guys so much for coming.
No doubt.
New album Mosaic out October IG. October 19th. Make sure you go get that. It's Phony People on the radar. Thank you guys.
Soju boys.
Yeah.
Hot sake, man. You know how it go, baby.